drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? This is a TFG Sports Show. I am your host, Kendrick Henderson, and this is the best 30 minutes of sports talk, giving you the hot takes we're giving it to you straight with no chaser. And it's a good Tuesday evening. It's a windy Tuesday evening here in the state of Texas. I hope everybody got the stuff batted down. I hope the ladies that's wearing wigs, I hope you can keep it on straight if you're out walking, because this winds right now is no joke. So again, you're watching TFG Sports Show, the best 30 minutes of sports talk on social media. If you come in, make sure you hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button to TFG Sports Media here on YouTube, and make sure you like it on Facebook as well, and make sure you comment so we can chat, so we can talk it up a little bit. And talk a little bit about sports for the next 30 minutes. Now, we're going to jump right into it. But before I get to my first topic, we're not talking about Will. We ain't talking about Chris Rock tonight. I know everybody's probably got a comment, and it's probably been Chris Rock and Will Smith slapped out. So we're not talking about them tonight. So you don't have to worry about that. But we will say there was a moment, the Oscars, that probably a lot of people didn't even know about. Got to mention Shaquille O'Neal and Stephen Curry won an Oscar on Sunday night. They were the executive producers on a short film documentary, 22 minutes, titled Queen of Basketball, and it was about Lucia Harris. A lot of people don't know Lucia Harris was the first woman to score a basket in the Olympics in 1976, and she also was the first woman to be drafted by an NBA team, which she didn't go because she happened to be pregnant at the time. So what's going on? Chef Hunter, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. Lamar, thanks for dropping in. I'm sick of hearing about hey, brother, I am too. And you best believe we're not talking about them tonight. But again, I had to make mention. I know that's been all the talk, but Shaquille O'Neal and Stephen Curry won an Oscar for the Queen of Basketball, about a legendary Lucia Harris, who was a trailblazer for women's basketball that probably a lot of people don't know about. So if you hadn't checked out a bit of the story, I did a couple of videos on her. Make sure you go over to TFG Sports Media on YouTube. Check them out. Make sure you view it, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and comment as well. Make sure you come in and comment as well tonight. So let's go ahead and jump right into our topics. We're talking the Final Four. NCAA Men's Final Four is set. And, man, we got a good one in the late game coming on Monday. We got the number 2 seed Duke Blue Devils versus the number 8 seed North Carolina. Now, we all know, if you've been hiding under rock, this is Coach K's last hurrah. This is his last dance. He's calling it a career after starting coaching. He started coaching at Army in the mid-'70s, but he came to Duke in 1980. So he's been at Duke roughly 42 seasons. This made his 42nd season. So this is the game everybody's going to be talking about again. This is going to be Saturday night, the Final Four. Number 2 seed Duke and North Carolina, and this is in New Orleans. And we also got the other game, which we'll talk about briefly. Number 2 seed Villanova, and which is out of Philly, Shahana. I know you probably pulling for them. And the number 1 ranked Kansas Jayhawks, who are the only number 1 ranked team left in the Final Four. They have been acting up, yes. So let's talk about this Duke North Carolina matchup first of all. North Carolina and Duke, if you don't know, they both are in the state of Carolina, and they are only 8 miles apart. They right down the road. They both combined for 248 NCAA tournament wins, and Duke Coach K is leading the Blue Devils to the Final Four a record 13th time. So this is his 13th time heading into the Final Four. Now, Coach K has a career record of 1,202 wins and 367 losses. He's the all-time winningest NCAA basketball coach of all time. And check this out. North Carolina and Duke has never faced each other in the Final Four. And they've only met one time in the NCAA tournament. And that was in 1991. Now, the players to watch. For Duke, you got the freshman all-star guard sensation, Paolo Banchero. You got center Mark Williams, I believe he led the ACC in blocks. You also have guard Not RJ Davis. I'm sorry. You got AJ Griffin, forward AJ Griffin, and you got guard Jeremy Roach for Duke. Now for the North Carolina Tar Heels, you got center Armando Bacot, who's averaged a double-double. I think he broke the record of ACC of how many double-doubles. That's points and rebounds. He's leading the way for North Carolina. You also got guard RJ Davis, guard Caleb Love, and forward Brady Manick, who transferred to North Carolina from Oklahoma. Those are the players to watch for North Carolina. So again, we got North Carolina and Duke, and I got my guest trying to get in contact with me. Hold on just a second. Mr. Producer, see if you can bring him in if he's in. Hey, there we go. Michael Coleman. How you doing?
Hey, what's happening?
I'm good, man. Hey, we're talking NCAA men's final 4A. Michael Coleman, TFG Sports Director.
I've been listening to you, so I'm up to speed. I've been listening to your whole show.
Okay, we up to speed. Good. So Duke in North Carolina is the one everybody's been talking about. Just give me your thoughts on that one first. Then we'll go to Kansas Villanova.
Well, I know what NC did to Duke the last time. Put it on them. But I think part of that is because a lot of the cats came back for Coach K, and I think some of those guys were starstruck, and let that game get away from them. I mean, they got a beat down. Mm-hmm. I like Duke in this one. Hubert Davis, was this his first year as a head coach, right?
First year as head coach, right.
Yeah, taking over for Roy Williams, who used to be at Kansas, who got a championship at Kansas. I got to throw that in there.
But, I know, yeah.
Uh-huh. But I'm like you. I like the teams in this, all blue bloods, Right. But I like Duke. I think this. I just think they're going to just be full of the adrenaline, emotion, all of that. And I think what's going to happen is, I think North Carolina's players, they're going to try to do it for Coach Davis. Yeah. And I see them pressing when things get tight, and I think Duke will prevail.
And they also going to want to do it because they want to send Coach K. Let's go keep it real. They want to send him out with that L.
Exactly.
They what a way for North Carolina to get to that last game is to send Coach K out with an L. So that's they're definitely going to be going off of that. Now, Coach K, he's looking for his sixth championship. I would have to say, man, if he wins this thing, there's no doubt he's number one on the Mount Rushmore coaches.
No, I mean, hands down. And I heard you mention his background. You know who was who he was an assistant under?
Yeah, Bob Knight.
They are different as day and night.
And they on the outs too. They don't speak anymore, by the way.
Did not know that.
Yeah, they on the outs. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm a Tar Heel guy. So I would love to see the Tar Heels, knock him out of there. But I do have respect for Coach K and the program that he's put together there at Raleigh-Durham as well.
Well, those teams, those programs are 8 miles apart from one another.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Well, let's move on to Kansas Villanova, the first game. Now, Kansas is the only number one seed that made it to the Final Four. They're looking for their 4th championship overall. They last won in 2008 under Coach Bill Self. Villanova, they've won 3. They last won one in 2018. Now, Villanova's going to be playing without one of their better players. They lost Justin Moore. He tore his Achilles in the last game. So Villanova is not very deep anyway. So this is definitely going to be change a little things up for them. Mike, what you think about this matchup, Kansas and Villanova?
Well, I'm going to be biased, but I am concerned about Villanova. I know they're a man down, and Jay Wright's a really good coach.
He really is.
He really. I mean, did they win in 16 and 18?
Yeah, they won in 16 and 18. Yeah.
I mean, that's how recent he's been there. Mm-hmm. I was with KU in 2012 when they lost to Kentucky in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Now, Self has said that this is not the best team he's had, but he's got some players, man. And what I like about his team, they got a kid, Remy Martin, comes off the bench.
Right, Remy Martin. I love that name, by the way. The best name in college basketball, by the way.
Best name in college basketball. But the first time I saw him play was when he was at Arizona State, and they were playing KU. Mm-hmm. And I was telling KC, and I remember them saying his name like Remy Martin. Ain't that a drink? You know,
right.
And then like a year or two later, he was transferring to Kansas. So okay, I remember him watching him play Kansas. But I like his energy coming off the bench. I just think Kansas. You mentioned the lack of depth for Villanova. They've got the depth, but two things they got to work on. They got to work on those free throws.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. They can go inside, you know. They got an inside game too, but you know, all the kids today they want to shoot from the 3-point line. But I like Kansas in
that's
this
all
one.
They want. Okay.
That's all they want to do. But you can get behind. Now I know their biggest deficit to Miami, and it's Miami. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them. Was 6 points. Mm-hmm. But then second half, they start to get away.
Yeah.
Not really know professional part on the pace and turning up the juice.
Yeah. So you got Kansas and Duke, Mike, in the finals. Is that who you got? Kansas and Duke? Yeah. I think you're in a bad spot. Say that again.
Okay, let me get up here.
There you go. Say it
North
again.
Carolina and KU. How about that? Is that you got me there?
Yeah. No, you said
right there.
You said North Carolina.
North Carolina and Kansas. Yeah. Those are two interchangeable programs. There's so many connections between both of those schools, and it just doesn't end with.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get Mike back. Maybe Mike can get in a better place with his reception. But I thought Mike said he was going with Duke and Kansas. Then he maybe said North Carolina and Kansas. But we're getting back. So that's the matchup for the NCAA Men's Final Four. Mr. Producer, whenever he gets back and he gets a better reception, you can just bring him back in. But the Final Four is set again. Duke, North Carolina, the late game on Saturday. Kansas and Villanova is the first game on Saturday, all on TBS, and it is New Orleans. And the NCAA Men's Finals game is on that Monday night. Now, I got to mention the Women's Final Four as well. We got Louisville, number 1 seed Louisville versus number 1 South Carolina, coached by Dawn Staley, and number 2 Connecticut, coached by Gino Auriemma, versus number 1 Stanford in the Women's Final Four, which will be played Friday night in Minneapolis at the Target Center. Now, let's move on to NFL. Let's move to Tyreek Hill. And I definitely want Mike to talk about this. Can you hear me, Mike? You got me?
I got you.
All right. We're talking about your guy, Tyreek Hill.
You know what?
He got that bread. Traded to the Dolphins for 5 draft picks.
He got
that money.
And you know what? And he says it's about the money. He didn't lie about it. I mean, he say, hey, when they start throwing that money at you, you got to say, well, wait a minute. You know, and it's a good move for him. I think part of it, and no one's touched on it, when he first came to Kansas City as a 5th round pick out of West Alabama or something like that, hasn't been kicked out of Oklahoma State.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Come across the hill, so be ready for me to drop. There were women groups all anti-Tyreek Hill, and the Chiefs coddled him. They did not expose him. But it wasn't until he became more and more confident with the offense that he began to explode. He did things in the community, all positive stuff. Then, of course, the thing with his girlfriend or whatever she was to him, he got a lot of flack for that. So I think I think 2 things. A, I deserve to be the highest paid wide receiver. And B, for a lot of the personal stuff that I went through, I want to have a new beginning with my personal life, with my family, because his parents live in Miami.
Right, that's home. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so he gets a chance to continue to be successful, but be around the right people he needs to be around. And you know, I know a lot of times when people think about professional athletes, they don't think about the personal side with those guys. You know,
right?
And he had a great legacy, a great career. Now, what he has to do, he has to maintain that so he can still be considered a Hall of Famer one day. And I don't know if he can be able to do that with the quarterback they have right now.
And you going where I'm just going. I made the analogy. He's moving from the penthouse as far as quarterbacks to a 1-bedroom efficiency. Because that's what he's doing with quarterback play. How long will it be before you think he becomes frustrated with quarterback play? Because we all know Tua can't throw the long ball. We know he doesn't have the arm.
Well, when he does get frustrated, he knows he can just go to the beach. It's just I wanted to do this. This is my call. But I think with Tua, I'm not going to be that quick to write him off. Tua knows what's in front of him.
Oh yeah, he got pressure. He got a lot of pressure.
And that new coach has pressure too. The new coach has Tyreek. I don't think Tyreek has the pressure.
No,
he's going to be Tyreek.
I mean, the only thing he's gonna have to live up to these numbers: 4 years, $120 million extension, $72.2 million guaranteed. He's gonna have to live up to that.
Well, I put it this way: if Tua gets the ball to him, he'll live up to it.
Okay. Yeah, and I believe he will. I just think I don't have faith in Tua. I think it's gonna be. I wasn't sold on him when he came out of Alabama, me personally. Anyway.
Well, I think I was. I was. Because of what he did, and then he lost his starting job again.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like Jalen Hurts. I mean, they both came from the same program, and let's face it, Alabama is not in the quarterback.
No, they're not. No, they're not. You hit another spot, Mike. We might take you out and bring you back in. Yeah, but Alabama is definitely not it's not a quarterback machine when you talk about those guys making it to the next level and becoming prototypical type quarterbacks. So but again, Tyreek Hill.
That's why they still talk about Joe Namath.
Right. Yeah.
Joe Namath didn't play or so.
Yeah. So I was shocked at that, but the Chiefs, I guess they felt
that was shocking.
They needed to get something.
It was a shock.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, so all your guys in KC didn't see this coming, huh?
No, they did not see it coming. They did not, and it happened fast.
Wow. Yeah,
it happened real fast.
It really did. Well, the Chiefs did sign Marquise Valdez-Scantling. They signed Juju, Schuster.
Right.
Obviously they not Tyreek Hill, but I think
what?
Kansas City will be all right.
Well, they're going to be all right, and you're not going to find you in a Hill. But I like that they signed the running back Ronald Jones. Mm-hmm. He's a stud, and I think they're going to be more of a not more of a run game, but more of a clock-killing offense.
Gotcha.
Because you're not going to be able to score at the drop of a hat like you used to.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
All right. So Tyreek Hill got that money, and then he's in Miami. Go figure. You can't get no better than that.
No, you can't. You can't.
So let's move on. The NFL owners are meeting this week, and just came down about an hour ago. There's a new overtime rule. And Mike, I'm glad I got you again because this new overtime rule really is because of that Kansas City Buffalo Bills divisional playoff game. The owners did pass the rule only during the postseason that both offensive teams will get a possession regardless of if the first team scores first. Mike, do you like this rule?
I don't think I do because the Chiefs were the victims of that rule with Tom Brady 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I know Chiefs fans are, you got to change the rule. All right. Then shoe was on the other foot. The Chiefs benefited from it. And they were like, well, we went through it. Yeah, you complained too. So don't be sitting there trying to act like you were good. You were good with it.
Right, exactly.
But because, now the complaint's going to be after both teams have possession and the game is still tied, then you go to sudden death. Right. There's going to be that, I wish they had kept it the way it was. It's like the onus is on us as a team not to get into a tie ball game. And then number two, if we lose the coin toss, stop them.
Oh, wow. So you like it that I be honest with you, Mike. I actually like this rule that at least both offensive teams get a possession because I think that it again stop them. Again, if both offense, it's going to be on the onus of the team that scored first. Hey,
Right.
if your defense stop them, that's a wrap. So,
Right.
But I see your point too. I see it both ways. I kind of like the college football overtime rules. Me personally, but that could go on and on and on forever too, as well.
Yeah.
So, then you want to talk about player safety. That's another thing. Do you want to keep these players going into these different sudden deaths? And you're supposed to be trying to be more big on keeping players safe as well.
Right. So so it's it's a no-win situation.
Right. It really is.
If you're doing it for the players' sake, that's cool, but don't do it because you're listening to the fans. Don't listen to the fans.
Right.
Fans will get you in trouble. That's why. That's why they're fans. All right. That's why they have to pay, and you get the chance to coach.
Right. Exactly. So anyway, that's new. Again, guys, they did change the overtime rule, but it's only for the postseason. It will still stay the same during the regular season. So again, during the regular season, coin flip. If the team gets it, they score a touchdown. That's a wrap. Game's over. Now, if the defense hold them, then the other team does get an offensive possession, and you go from there. So, and there's going to be some other rule changes, I'm sure, coming out of there, but that's the main one I think fans are talking about. Now, let's move on to the NBA. Kyrie Irving has been allowed. He's back. He's cleared to play home games at the Barclays Center because New York has laxed its rules. It has now made it possible for entertainers and athletes to be able to play at home. Mike, what are your thoughts on this? And to me, New York was just whatever. I'm like,
I don't like that either because I read from a New York newspaper that once it was discovered that a lot of New York Yankees are not vaccinated,
that's the reason why
expedited the rule. Pretty much. So their opening days against the Red Sox.
Okay. All right? Gotcha.
Now I know eventually that mandate was going to be lifted, but I don't know when.
Right.
But next week is opening day. Because if opening day had happened like it was supposed to have, and that mandate had not been lifted, they'd be calling you and me to play for the Yankees.
Right.
And so, and I just kind of, I don't know. I just think if you continue to give in to the entertainers, I know you don't want to talk about Will Smith. Will Smith should have been escorted out of that building.
Yeah.
He didn't have to go nowhere. Just talk to. So at least talk to, because you continue to allow these guys, these high dollar celebrities, to have their way. And people are already upset with sports as it is. And so because even Stephen A said it best, and I haven't heard his reaction since the lifting, but he had commented 2 weeks ago. He's like, okay, 1,400 people in New York have lost their jobs because they didn't want to be vaccinated, and the mandate said you got to go. Then what he said was, okay, so if you lift that mandate, what are you going to do about the 1,400 who lost their jobs?
Right. Yes. Yeah, I get that, and it's unfortunate, that sometimes though the hires the what is it called now? The social, I ain't gonna say socialist, but classism is also in sports.
Yeah, the class. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong.
They can make moves because they got that stature and they got that money. So
don't get me wrong. If I was in the same boat as the athletes, and I wasn't vaccinated, I'd be happy too.
Yeah, I agree. Me too. Me too.
I'll be a hypocrite about it, but
Me too. Well, the thing is, the Nets are going through all their issues. They're the 8th seed right now. Now getting Irving back, I mean, that'll help them a little bit, just for jockeying for, playoff position. So it just was a weird mandate anyway in New York.
Oh, it was. It was
from the jump. So
no, it definitely was. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It was a bizarre decision of how it was handled. I'm not hating on the New York mayor, Mr. Eric Adams. I mean, he's going to try to do the best he can and all that, but sometimes you go into politics and you go run for an office, you've got good intentions, but you up against the wall sometimes, and you got to do what you say I would never do.
Right.
And I think that's the case with him.
Right. So anyway, guys, Kyrie Irving is allowed back. We only got a few games left in the regular season. Again, the Nets are sitting in the 8th seed. They fourth in the division behind the 76ers, Celtics, and Raptors. And his first game at home was this past Sunday, I believe. He didn't do too well. He shot 6 for 22. He had 16 points and 11 assists, and they lost to the Hornets by 9 points. But again, they got him back home. They're having for the playoffs, and we'll go from there. All right.
The only distraction they have is Simmons.
Yeah. All right, Mike. I got to get to my Kendrick's conundrum, and I got to get your take on this. You know,
get your conundrum, brother. What you got?
Man, you know, we always find some old craziness in these savage internet streets, bro. And I ran across. I have to give Shantae Gibson, an executive for TFG, for sending this to me. Your boy Antonio Brown is at it again, bro.
Yeah, I saw.
Your boy Antonio Brown was on IG posting. He didn't posted a video, some pictures of some young lady that used to be, I guess, Deshaun Jackson's former girl or his current girl, and basically saying she owed him $5,000 and said that if she don't pay him, he's gonna post these photos, and was calling her H's and B's and all this, and she was like, Antonio, I don't like you talking to me like this. We could have did this better. I'm gonna get you your money. What can I do to fix it? He was like, send me my money, B. He posted all the text messages and stuff. Listen, man, this is what I'm gonna say about AB, and I'm gonna let you have it, Mike, real quick. Stop saying Antonio Brown has mental issues. There's nothing wrong with that dude. That dude is a clown. Stop saying that this dude has mental issues, because he does not. He is just a clown. All right, Mike, I'll let you have it.
No, I mean, don't he owe some people some money?
He didn't want to pay his chef, and his chef had to sue him for 10 G's.
Right. He trying not to pay people. It's like, dude, come on, man. You taking a page out of your own book and using it against her? She read your book.
Oh, man.
And, you know, I know there's been talk about him trying to come back. I don't know, dude. I just cannot. I don't take him seriously. I just don't. He's hard to take seriously, and it's again another brother not doing right.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of makes us look like, you know, what they say we can be. You know, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, he's that dude. He ain't nothing wrong with that guy, because, you know, like I said earlier, when he did that little strip T act, he stopped at the shirt. He didn't take his pants off because he got boundaries.
Yeah,
he got boundaries. So he ain't. If he didn't have boundaries, he would have taken those pants off.
Right.
And I would have said he's certified crazy.
And you know, now he's a wannabe rapper. He's dropped the joint. He's running with Kanye West, so that probably tells you another thing.
Oh my God.
So again, you know, please, I don't want to see the narrative. I don't want to hear the narrative of anybody saying that Antonio Brown has a mental.
And why would he even do that to that young lady? Why would
regardless
or even Deshaun? I mean, they boys in terms of in the fraternity.
Yeah. But
why would you do
that? Nobody's shocked. I'm not shocked. I mean, you know.
I saw the picture. I was like, dude, really?
Yeah, man. So that's my Kendrick conundrum this week. Again, I don't want to hear nobody say that Antonio Brown has mental health issues, because he's not. He's just a straight clown, and I don't see him playing in the NFL ever again.
No.
So that's my Kendrick.
Watch him turn up in the USFL.
Yeah, he's gonna end up somewhere. Probably. Well, you know, and that kicks off April the 16th. So we got to cover like that 2 minutes, Mike. I just want to get your final thoughts, just whatever, and what you tell us what you got going
on. Just getting ready to watch the Final Four, man. Get ready to watch that, and watch some good basketball. You got the elite teams for the last 10 years. You know, I liked the way St. Peter's played.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were the darlings. But I like all Cinderellas. Mm-hmm. Your clock, unless your clock is broke, it's gonna strike midnight.
Right.
You know,
right.
And good for Shaheem. He's headed to a new place where he played ball at Seton Hall.
Yeah, so he is going to Seton Hall. I know they said Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's from what I understand. He's going to go there, and whoever comes in is going to be on a 5-year honeymoon. I mean, you know, we'll expect you to do what he did, but just don't break just don't let the program suffer or regress.
Right.
You know,
right.
And that's you know, so good for him, and That's about it, man.
All right. Well, I'm doing my pick tonight. I'm saying North Carolina and Kansas in the finals, and I'm picking North Carolina to win it all. So that's my Final Four pick. Again, it's a wrap for our show tonight. I want to thank my man, KLTV Sports Director Michael Coleman out of Tyler, Texas.
All right.
Joining me tonight, bro. Hopefully, I get to see you. I might be your way this weekend. I don't know yet.
Just let me know, brother. Just let me know.
I appreciate you joining me. Again, guys, thanks for Shahana. Thanks for Lamar. Thanks for everybody that joined and chimed in. This has been TFG Sports Show with your host, Kendrick. And until next Tuesday at 6:30, I'm out. Deuces.
I press the button and the doors go up. That money clip us now, the new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like. Whoa, I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets.